Hey, everybody, and happy Tuesday. I wanted to get on here and go over some home care, home health care news and updates. So, as you join me, today I am broadcasting from TikTok. Hey, guys. And I'm broadcasting from YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn today. So, good afternoon. I saw these updates um, on a healthcare news channel that I am subscribed to, and I thought this information was really beneficial for me to share with you guys. Hey, how are you? So, if you have any questions, like you guys always do, and you're like, oh, hey, Sean is on, she's going to be teaching. Right now, I just want to give you some updates, right? And here is something else you should be mindful of that my very own mentor told me. And this time of the year, actually in the fall, and this time of the year, checking up on what's going on in the healthcare industry is really important because guess what? We are a regulated industry. We are a regulated industry. The movement or things that happen in our industry are heavily affected by state regulations being passed, bills being passed. And as you see in the news, even on the federal level, that can trickle down to us in the States. So thank you so much for liking the live. And but that's what we're gonna go over today right now. Um, let's get started off by letting me know a little bit about you. Where are you located? Number one, I always like to know, where are you watching from? I am in the DMV, which stands for DC, Maryland, and Northern Virginia. However, I have mentees in over 30 states, and we've helped people get licensed in over 30 states. We've helped people grow their home care and home health care businesses in over 30 states. I equally help skilled and unskilled agencies. And this is why today, some of these things that I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share with you. Hey, Maryland. Hey, Illinois. Um, hey, Virginia. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. Let me start off with the first one. Let me move this over so I can share. Okay, so we're all, while I'm waiting for my computer to not act slow, we're all familiar with seeing how some states offer sign-on bonuses, right? Offering sign-on bonuses when a where's my, here you go. Hey, let me move this. Okay, let me see if I can share this. We're all familiar with states offering sign-on bonuses. Let me see. Okay. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you'll be able to really see what I'm sharing. Right? Hey, Okala. You currently have a home health agency. Cool. All right. I work with homemaker companion agencies in Florida, home health agencies in Florida, and nurse registries in Florida. So cool. Hey, Maryland. Hey, guys. Okay. So OIG, and you guys may or may not remember, I talked about this department. What does OIG stand for? Just slipped my mind. OIG, it'll come to me in a second. I'm having a mom brain right now. Okay. OIG has shared as recently as January 16th something really important. So usually when a agency is online, Indeed, on a recruitment platform like a Indeed, trying to recruit a home care uh, a home care worker, like a home health aide, a CNA, or we're going to stick with the non-skilled. One thing that happens is that you might see sign up bonus. So this is something that is going to change the game with how agencies are offering sign up employment bonuses specifically to people. If you have, a lot of states have this program called direct consumer direct. If you're following me, that's one of the basic names for it, because it's different variations in different states. But if you're following me, write consumer direct in the comments. And if you know what consumer direct is, great. If you don't, I'm going to kind of explain it. But let me read this while I'm waiting for you to respond. OIG proposed back in November. So remember, I said a lot of things happen in the fall and then also happen in January, right? So you should be looking at the news. You should be looking for changes. You should be looking for updates. You should be even going on your state's website and seeing what bills are being passed. Okay? Remember, note takers are money makers. So I want you to put that in the comment. That's something you need to do. If you're an existing home care business owner, what bills are being passed? I think in my second year in business, I joined a home care association, right? A home care association. And people have asked me all the time, hey, Sean, my state has a home care association. Thank you so much. And should I join it? And I say, the two part is, I want you to join it, but usually it's not somebody's messaging me. Usually you cannot do that if you are um a new home care business owner. Why? Because these it usually comes with a fee. It usually comes with a fee. And so I recommend that you join the Home Care Association in your state by, number one, attending their conference. They usually have some kind of annual conference, and seeing what kind of monthly activities they are hosting. Okay. All right. Um, so one of the things I did starting on my second year of business, I found out that the state that I started my first home care agency in, they were going to the courthouse. They were going to Annapolis. They to find out what bills were being passed, right? That could affect me as a home healthcare agency doing business, right? So that's why I'm saying that's something you need to do as well. In this update, OIG posted an advisory opinion, which back in November, which now will have somewhat of effect for us who are operating home care and home health care agencies. And they made a very, very interesting association, which could be detrimental to you if you are caught, right? So I'm going to read this. Regarding a home care agency's proposal to market sign-on bonuses. All right. So if you've ever taken any of my trainings off like a live stream, I usually tell my mentees, when it comes to recruitment, meaning you're going out to get new workers, CNAs, home health aides, nurses, blah, blah, blah. Recruitment is actually a form of marketing, right? How is it a form of marketing, right? Your job post is kind of set up almost like a flyer. Like you have your flyer to your client, well, your job post is promoting, hey, we got this benefit. Sign up with us. We get weekly pay. Whatever you're saying, it's an advertisement. So it's interesting that they use that word. And actually, let me share it. Let me see if I can share it a little bit better with those of you on tickety top. If it's going right. Okay. All right. So here's what we're looking at. All right. You see how it says market sign-on bonuses to prospective clients of its home care agency with intentions of employing those individuals for provision of services other to other individuals who most often will be family members of prospective employees. Okay, so here's the thing. It starts right off at the top. The OIG concluded that the proposed arrangement could result in prohibited offer to remuneration under both the federal anti-kickback statute. So the AKS, federal anti-kickback statute, is the reason why, guys, we can't pay a case manager. We can't pay a doctor for a referral, right? And I've had people ask me, oh, what if I give an incentive? Let me flip the camera. What if I give an incentive to a doctor or to someone who has given me a referral, right? If it was that easy, right, then everybody would do it, right? Right. So the federal anti-kickback statute says we can't technically pay someone to influence their decision to come be with our agency. That's a big no. Does it happen? I'll tell people all the time, yes, it does. Somehow it still happens under the table, because I know somebody on one of these platforms will say, I know somebody that does it. And you're right. There are people who do it. But it on both sides, the home health care agency side, and the other person, the doctor, the case manager, it is considered illegal because it's a federal anti-kickback statute and unethical. So if it's illegal, that means it comes with fines and consequences. And it's considered civil monetary penalty for those who are found doing this. All right. All right. So why is this important? Why am I even bringing it up? Okay. So OIG, and for some reason, I can't remember what Office of Inspector General. Okay. So here it is for note takers. Office of Inspector General. That's what OIG stands for. You see, it finally came to me. My mom brain just kicked in. I didn't look anything up, but Office of Inspector General. Okay. Not too long ago, I associated you guys with the Office of Inspector General and Medicaid fraud. How does it? Thank you so much. How is it associated? Okay, what happens is that if you are a home health care Medicaid provider, meaning you do waiver services, MCOs, you are supposed to go on the Office of Inspector General list or website and check every time you onboard a new employee to make sure that they are not on this. They're not published on their website. Why? The Office of Internal General and Medicaid puts the onus on the agency to go check to make sure they're not hiring someone who has committed Medicaid fraud. Yep, they put that onus on us to check that. And if the person has committed Medicaid, let me wipe this off, has committed Medicaid fraud, we are not supposed to use them, or we're if it's found out like after, because you should check it more than once. You should check it initially, and then you should be checking it like at least you can, depending on how many employees you have, I would check it at least twice a year. So initially, and then biannually, like you at least should be checking it twice a year. If you have multiple, if you have hundreds of employees, I would check it a lot more frequently, right? All right, so how does this matter? Why does this matter? Why does this matter? So the Office of Inspector General that's over Medicaid fraud says, hey, I think I've got a problem with agencies that market sign-on bonuses to prospective employees if that employee that they're going to be hiring is actually the family member of the employee that we just hired. All right, I'm going to talk slowly. The direct-to-consumer program is a Medicaid program that says, hey, you can hire your family. A lot of agencies are benefiting, from this program, that someone in their home that's already providing the care can now get paid for providing the care direct to consumer, right? So whether it was their grandson, their granddaughter, their son, their daughter-in-law providing the care, they're on this Medicaid program, they can get paid for providing the care to their loved one in their home. So when the Office of, thank you for the follow, Office of Inspector General took a deep dive at what agencies are doing and have been doing for a while, they said, hey, that's kind of a little bit on the thin line with the federal anti-kickback statute, because if this agency offers a $5,000 sign-on bonus, that's going to influence their decision to sign up with this agency. And it's almost acting like they got paid. Are you guys picking that up? It's acting like they got paid to choose that agency. So that's the thin line, right? So let me read further down. Did I explain that I'm trying to go slow, because when I read it, I immediately got it, but I want to make sure I'm explaining it good. If I'm explaining it good, put a 1 in the comments. And if you have any questions, put a 1 in the comments. Okay, so I'm going to read the background real quick, and then I'm going to move on to the next topic, because these are our updates and news, okay? And this was published January 16th, so it's pretty new, 4 days, okay? All right, so again, the background is a requester, which is the agency of requested the opinion of the Office of Inspector General for an agency in a state where Medicaid covers in-home support services through waiver programs and Medicaid initiatives. Eligible individuals who are clients may select attendants of their choice, who do not have to be certified, licensed to provide professional personal care services, homemaker services, and health maintenance activities, in addition to employing attendants, right? Because these programs are usually like the family member doesn't have to be a CNA. The family member doesn't have to be a HHA, home health aide. They don't have to be a nurse, right? In this Medicaid waiver program, the family says, I want my grandson to take care of me. And so, if you hire them, they get a $5,000 sign-on bonus that goes to our household. So you see how they're like, man, this looking a little bit like we gotta rearrange this the way that these agencies are doing it, which is not, it's technically not fair because other companies, industries offer sign-on bonuses. So because of this program and because it's Medicaid, now they are monitoring and kind of controlling the way that we can do business. And this is why I wanted to give this update, because I need for you guys to know information and then have a pivot, have a strategy for how you're going to do that. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to read this last part. In addition to employing attendants, the agency is responsible for providing adequate staffing for patient care, training, supervising health maintenance activities, and submitting claims for Medicaid reimbursement. Importantly, the agency certified that its intended attendants will primarily be family members of clients and will act as decision makers in selecting the agency to provide service. So what they're saying is that the same person that they're hiring who may get this sign-on bonus is also could potentially be a decision maker for the person who is a recipient of the Medicaid program. So they're like, hey, you're essentially giving them money to sign up with your agency. And someone can say, well, this agency is giving $5,000. This agency is only giving $1,000. I'm gonna go with the one that's $5,000. So that's what they said. This is now skirting on the anti-kickback laws, and that's not something we're definitely not supposed to do in general, but definitely not if you're dealing with Medicaid funds. Okay. All right. So the OIG considered whether proposed arrangements satisfy the statutory exception or regulatory safe harbor for employees, but found otherwise because the employment is inextricably linked to the referral of the attendant's relative, the client to the agency for services. Thus, the OIG concluded that advertisement of the sign-on bonus operates as a solicitation for a guaranteed referral prior to employment. So if I'm breaking this down to you guys, OIG, and if you're like, well, Sean, I haven't really heard anything about it. OIG has published. So that means it is going to now have some trickle effect of agencies not being able to do that. Okay. So OIG proposed arrangements if the undertaking would consider grounds for the imposition of sanctions under the anti-kickback statute. And so essentially they're going to try to sanction agencies that do this. So if the agency is found to have be a provider for one of these programs, direct to consumer, attendant agency, boom, they can now get in trouble according to the anti-kickback law. Okay. All right. Good question. All right. So on Facebook, Kayla asks a great question. Hey, Sean, is this in certain states? No. This will be in any state that has that direct to consumer program. So let's say you're a Medicaid provider. Let's say you're a Medicaid waiver provider, but you don't have this waiver program. You're like, Sean, I got TBI, traumatic brain injury waiver. I got the elderly community pathways waiver, but I don't have the attendant. Then you are safe because this one specifically speaks on attendant care, which is the Medicaid waiver program that says, hey, I can hire my family member if I want to. Okay. All right. So again, this is not my normal teaching, but this is definitely something that you need to be aware of. There are several home care coaches, consultants, and now people are calling them mentors that only want to tell you guys how to make money, but they don't tell you how to keep your money. And this is a regulated industry, right? This is a regulated industry, and you already read how if found out, if this is something that you're doing, it comes with civil fines, right? So you don't want to be doing well, stacking up cases, finally getting a breakthrough with your clients, and now, boom, you got something you saw other agencies do, and you start doing it, and you don't want to get caught. You be like, dang, can I get a break? Well, this is why we want to be proactive, not reactive. And one of the things that I did, so for about 8 years, I served on the Maryland Department of Health Advisory Board Committee for one of their Medicaid programs. And boy, every time something would be addressed in our private meeting, I would go and tell my friends, I would say, hey, girl, you better get your criminal background check together because you using the wrong company. They gonna be coming by agencies that's not using this company or using this blah 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 blah. Oh, really? Okay. And that was one of the ways I started doing some consulting with my friends, because I was a board member, and I was getting access to information in advance. And I was trying to make sure that my friends were in compliance and able to access opportunities a lot earlier. So now here I am doing it to you. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so we talked about that. Now for the next one. Let me pull up the next thing. And as you can see, that was why my computer moving slow? Healthcare news that it's published. It's published information. So I read it to you. This one I thought was really interesting. It got published on the 16th as well. And let me share my screen. I do have the same name on TikTok as Savvy Business Chick. And make sure it doesn't have any dots or underscores, because I have heard people tell me that I have an imposter on TikTok that's been messaging people about Bitcoins and crypto. And they even got my niece. And I was like, why are you sending people money on WhatsApp when you know where I live? I said, why? Why did you do that? Like, why would you send somebody money? She's like, I thought it was one of your new assistants. I was like, oh my gosh. She sent them $40. I was like, you know where I live? She was like, yeah, Auntie, I want to learn more about the crypto you were talking about. I was like, what are you talking about? So anyway, it's, if you're looking for me on TikTok, yes, it's Savvy Business Chick, all one word. Okay. All right. So here's the next one. And just know, guys, that right now they are on a straight campaign with looking for fraud. So you want to be dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Okay, so this next one, and I'm going to just share it just a little bit for those of you on TikTok. Okay, Dr. Oz and other leaders of CMS are visiting home health hotspots. Home health hotspots. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay. All right. So Dr. Oz and other CMS leaders are going to be boots on the ground, guys. Oh, they may show up to your city and they're gonna be like, where them charts at? All right. So they're not looking for those, they're gonna be looking for those records. They're gonna be like, where's my fan at? Where them charts at? Right. And so let me read here. Okay. All right. So the administrator of the U.S. Center for Medicare and Medicaid, who is Dr. Oz, he and other officials are going to places like Nevada. Okay, so these are the places that got mentioned in this article. Nevada, California, heavy on the hospice fraud, right? Then let me go down. Okay, let me read this front part. Home health has been identified as a prime target for Medicare fraud. Home health has been targeted for Medicare fraud, leading to increased actions to combat suspicious behavior amongst home health agencies. So when it comes to home health agencies, they're looking for Medicare fraud. What does that look like? Bill it in layman's terms, that is billing for care you did not provide. And if you can go on some of these my husband was watching something on like it was like a crime case, a crime TV show, and hey guys, Medicaid fraud is real, and they are really exposing how much money. I mean, look at Minnesota right now, how much money people have been able to get away with. And I think with the home health, this is my prediction, this is my projection, is that they're going to be tying it to doctors who are writing scripts, right, to home health agencies for care that they didn't need, right? Because in home health, we got to have a doctor's order. And hospice, you got to have a doctor's order. So they're gonna be following the paperwork. And this is why I said prior to the government shutdown last year, towards the end of the last year, I said whether you're a home health or skilled or home care agency, you need to really improve your paperwork. Your intake process needs to be documented. I don't care if it's on software or paperwork, it needs to be documented. Okay. Your initial assessment needs to be documented, right? Needs to be documented, and signatures. Guys, get a signature. Even if you're using an EVV, you should have some kind of system, some kind of verification that the client received and approved of the hours that you're billing for. So when I say they're going to be looking for where them charts, they're going to be looking for your patient charts, right? And something we haven't really explored before, you get Medicaid funds. Medicaid, we always talk about unannounced visits, and we only think that can happen from at the state licensing level. Guess what? Guess who can show up to your office and show up to your client's house? Medicaid. They can show up to your office and your client's house. So with private pay, and this is not a push for private pay right now, private pay, they don't have any kind of like jurisdiction to just show up at their house like they do with Medicaid, but they can show up. Okay. All right. So they're saying since the Medicaid Payment Advisory voted to recommend a 7% cut, and I think they only took like it only went to like 3%. Medicare home health cuts has identified program integrity concerns. So what's happening in Minnesota, guys, is that it was announced months ago to all states, do your own self audit. Do your own self audit. Don't wait for us to come do it, because if we do it, we're gonna be taking back so much money. It's gonna be ridiculous. Show good faith. Do your own self audit. Expose any areas that you need improvement. And so that's what Minnesota did. I actually published something maybe in November or October. I said Minnesota has started to freeze payments to different providers, home care, home health care was included, as they went through an audit, an internal state audit. Well, they found so much fraud that now it's reached to the national level. And so, of course, they're going to be going to other states to do that. So in this article, let me read this part. It's very hard for schemes to be successful without involving physicians. That's why I said they're really starting to target home health first. And he was very interested in what it takes today to get a physician to compromise their ethics after schooling to go along with these schemes. So basically, he's saying he wants to go to these states that have high Medicaid fraud rate to see what the physician involvement is in these fraud cases. Because like I said, with home health, with the skill, you need a doctor's signature. So they want to see who are the main people contributing to this fraud. And the last part, did I mention all of the states? I know I saw Arizona, Nevada, California. I'm not looking for it. Okay, I'll publish this on my Facebook page. I'm not seeing it now. All right. So that was just a little mini update, and now let me go to something else. Okay. Does all of this include home care as well? What do you mean? Does all of what include? This is our industry. This is the home care, home health care industry. You wanted to share? Okay. Yep. I'm live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. So if you want to go over there too. Okay. So thank you for wanting to share though. Okay. Let me get my last one. Okay. Okay, the last one is going to be a state specific update. And I will take part of this video to also like publish separately, but I want to go over some things that's happening in the state of Maryland. Like Sean, you always mention Maryland. Maryland to me is always up to some nonsense. And so that's why I have to mention them. It seems like every year around this time of the year, they're always doing something extra or silly, right? First, starting off with they have changed the application, but they really didn't change it. technically they just changed the location of the application. So if you are already licensed, you may be familiar that when you went to go complete the application, something called like a smart sheet would like pop up. But now it's directly on the state's website, which I'm trying to pull up. It's directly on the state's website where you would find the RSA application. And it's pretty much the same. I had a mentee, I'm not sure why he did it this way, but he selected everything on the application, right? So the application wants you to check off the services you are going to provide. So he selected nursing, home health, therapies, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and like he was in my fall home care Kickstarter, home health care Kickstarter program, and they basically they didn't say your policies and procedures need to be updated. They just said, hey, you can't do this. You're trying to act like a home health agency. And if you're trying to act like a home health agency, you need to go fill out a different application, which we all know that the home health application in the state of Maryland requires a certificate of need. So essentially, he can't do that, right? So, if you're starting a home care agency, aka RSA, which stands for Residential Service Agency in the state of Maryland, whether you work with me, would love for you to work with me, whether it's in our home care Kickstarter program or our DIY kit, just use the right application, guys. So that's update number 1. Update number 2, everybody knows, or you should know, that what you include with your application, you need to have a business plan. All right. You need to have a business plan. So what they're doing when you do your business plan, a lot of people get this part wrong because in their business plan, they're putting more of their passion. Hey, and no offense, my grandmother passed. And so because of that, that led me into, look into home care. That's not how you do a business plan. A business plan, they're looking to see, oh, you said you was going to provide personal care services. Is it in your business plan? And so the information has to match. Long story short, the 1-year operation budget is that, guys. It needs to be a 1-year operating budget, right? It needs to be from January to December. And a lot of you are getting that wrong because you only have a startup budget. Somebody told you to just do a startup budget when they want to see a January detailed budget. Okay. All right. New thing that we actually posted and published in our last year in February, your scope of services. So, and I tell you guys, ChatGPT it's not a good starter. It's a good finisher, meaning you got to already have the information to give to it. And that's why I would not depend on ChatGPT to write policies and procedures, especially not to heavily regulated states like a Maryland or Virginia. Okay, so your scope of services, it needs to address your geographical area. And here's something that I've known for a long period of time, but a lot of people think when they get licensed in any particular state that they're licensed to serve the whole state. And that's not actually true. You have to delegate what part of the state you're going to service, and that now needs to be in your scope of service. It needs to say, I'm going to provide respite care in blah, 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 blah areas. Okay. So that is something you need to have. Another thing, which is going to require more detail, your clinical management policy needs to include assessment, meaning assessment of the client, plans, like your plan of care, plan of treatment, delegation, specifically how the RN maybe would delegate duties to a CNA, a home health aide, and supervision, according to Comar 10.07.05.8b. Okay. And two more things. A lot of people get this part wrong. Administration of drugs and the Maryland RSA policies and procedure. Some people will say, oh, I don't give out medication. I'm non-skilled. I'm personal care. Well, Maryland's gonna make you still write that policy, right? And now they want you to explain how you even will do a medication reminder. So in the administration of drugs, and this is why that policy is about 8 pages in our kit, that we sell. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? What you're not going to do? They want you to spell it out. That's what I said. Don't play around with Maryland, because ChatGPT is going to give you a paragraph, and Maryland going to be like, I need some more information, sir, ma'am. Hey, is that Carl or Veronica? A passive workforce. And then lastly, on a somewhat of a revamp, the policy on maintenance of equipment. You need to be able to clarify what the staff is using to provide to the clients about their equipment being cleaned and maintained, what guidelines are they following in equipment maintenance. So they want a more detailed policy. And this is just some of the comments that we've gotten back from from the state. And they are happy to share what they're looking for when I speak with them, because it makes their life easier when you're submitting things that are just right, so that they can just push it through. Okay. Okay. All right. So now I'll do a little quick Q&A for the next 10 minutes. Angela on Facebook has a great question. I want to share it with you. Angela says, while waiting on a license for a home care agency, can I post a flyer on social media? So, can you post a flyer on social media? I'm going to say yes, you can post a flyer as long as the flyer is not proceeding with a call to action. Does the flyer say, contact me, call us for care for your loved one? If the flyer is promoting, leave it alone. If the flyer is informational, post it. You see the difference? It's informational. Hey, we're a new agency. The A could literally say coming soon, opening soon, servicing soon. But once you get it, so you can post it if it's informational, but if it's promotional, leave it alone. They started in Wisconsin. Okay, Cheryl is probably responding to my comment about Dr. Oz. They started in Wisconsin with prenatal care agencies. There were over a dozen companies closed with over 2 million. With over 2 millions. It was crazy. What's over 2 millions? Okay. Any questions? This is the time you guys can ask for some ask questions. Also, if you're not on TikTok, tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., I'll be doing a live chat with Linda Joe. She is a registered nurse, also owner of Elite Concierge Nursing. And she is going to share how nurses specifically, so at the top of the list, I want nurses to look at more ways you can use your license. And then I'm going to show you how you can parallel that with owning a non-skilled home care agency. Thank you so much. So it's free, but it's only going to be on TikTok. If you're like, Sean, I don't have a TikTok. Okay, I understand. It just so happened that I found her on TikTok, so I'm not getting her to do multiple platforms tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be on TikTok at 10:30. We're going to have an open, non-gatekeeping conversation about how the nurse concierge business works. And so that you don't have to sell your soul to go work for $150 a day up in New York, where the flu, influenza, it's heavy flu cases. Because I know some people that were like, "Dang, you know what? During COVID, I didn't maximize on how much money I could make. I want to pay my house off. I want to do this. If I go work up in New York, I can make some quick, easy money." Yes, you can, but it's gonna come with a price. It's gonna come with a price, and it's still not building a legacy. It's still not building a legacy. The best thing a nurse can do is to not work at the bedside and still get paid. That's what we want to. That's what we want to go over this year. Thank you so much for the follow. Any questions? In the state of Virginia, you can provide companion care under your business name. Are you telling me, Kathy, or are you asking me? Are you saying in the state of, are you trying to tell me and others on the platform that you can provide companion care without a license? Is that what you're saying? Are we going to fact check you right now? Because Virginia is a regulated state, so I want you to show me where that is in writing. Because I'm going to show you where it is in writing, where you are not allowed to misrepresent yourself as an agency. Yes. I'll be live here. I don't know why my computer is slowing down, but I'm going to show you. Do a non-skilled agency in Florida need a nurse? Cheryl, if you're doing a homemaker companion agency in Florida, you do not need a nurse. If you are doing a non-skilled home health agency in Florida, you do need a nurse. Not my rules. Not my rules. Let me pull up the um okay. Okay, let me share my screen. And if you're still leaving messages. Okay, so all right. So, and you can go look this up. Okay, so this is Virginia Administrative Code 12 VAC 5-381-20. It's talking about being licensed in Virginia. This is not the first person that says, oh, if I'm doing non-skilled, I don't need a license. Okay. All right. A license. Okay. A license to operate a home care agency is issued to a person. However, no license shall be issued to a person who has been sanctioned, meaning basically you are now deemed unable to do that. Every home care agency shall be designated by an appropriate name. The name shall not have been changed within the first notifying OLC. All right, so I'm going to go back, but any person establishing, conducting, maintaining, or operating a home care organization without a license shall be found guilty of a Class 6 felony, according to this code in Virginia. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So this on part one, they have a definition of um what home care is, because I'm pretty sure that the person that asked me on uh Facebook, she's saying companion care, but I'm very, very sure that there are some personal care activities being done. If you know that companion care means look, love, but don't touch, meaning you cannot touch the client, you cannot give them a bath, you cannot help them get dressed, you cannot help them to the bathroom, you cannot help them get from their bed to a wheelchair, you cannot help them with their diapers, that's bladder control or bowel control, you cannot um, feed them, right? That's underneath activities of daily living. Okay. You cannot provide chore services. That's underneath home care. All right. Do you see companion services right here? I'm not looking for your name. So this is underneath the home care license definition in Virginia. It says companion services. Do you see it says assisting persons unable to care for themselves without assistance? Companion services include transportation, meal preparation, shopping, light housekeeping, companionship, and house management. So what you're saying is that somebody told you you can do companion services and you don't need to be licensed in the state of Maryland and Virginia, then why is it here on the website of underneath the definition of services that a home care agency would provide? And why does it say anyone providing those services without a license is guilty of a Class 6 felony? Guys, if you want to operate and possibly get in trouble, or by all means, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Kathy, by all means, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Yep, you need to take down your website before applying for your RSA license, because Maryland has strict policies on marketing. Your website and your brochure is supposed to have your RSA number. Hey, beautiful. Hey. Hey, Ashley. Thanks for joining. Okay. Ashley, I mean, excuse me, Kathy, if you're comfortable doing it, are you asking me for for validation, or are you coming to tell others to do something that you're doing? I'm trying to get a understanding because I just read. I'm reading the requirements. Sure. Where are you located? Where are you located? Mom, boss. Where are you located? Texas. Okay. Do you have a PAS agency or a home health agency? Oh, you have a home health. Okay. How long have you had the home health? Have you passed your survey yet? Have you passed your survey yet? After this, I'll take two more questions. You bought it. Okay, let me try to put you up. I don't think you want my advice, so I guess I'm not going to respond anymore to your comments. Um, Kathy, I don't think you want my advice, and that is perfectly fine. Hi, hey, mom, boss. How are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon.
You said you bought an agency.
Yes, I bought an agency.
Oh.
We just finished all the licensing and transfers.
Okay.
Maybe like I know we're expecting a service soon. That's what I told. So
Okay. What part of Texas are you in?
like the Dallas DFW area.
Okay. And so if you bought a home health, then you need to get a skilled client. Otherwise, you won't get approved at the skilled level. Okay. Um, what have you done so far?
Well, I had one patient recently, but he was discharged because he went to like an outpatient cardiac rehab. He's like a cabbage patient, so I had to discharge him so he can attend the rehab. So that was like just about 3 weeks care provided. That's the only thing I've done.
Okay.
But I don't know where to, how to get patients and where to go. It's kind of confused.
Okay. Um, okay, so that rehab, you said, how did you have that connection with that rehab?
You know, because of the previous owner, so I think he had like already a social worker with one of these hospitals. So they called my number and I got the patient. But because the patient was going for like an outpatient rehab, that was ordered from the doctor from the hospital.
Okay.
They had to start like a cardiac rehab. So when I called them, they said we cannot provide services together. Since he's leaving the house, he's no longer qualified for being back.
Oh, got you, got you.
4 times a week for the cardiac rehab.
Got you. Okay. They're not gonna pay. We're not gonna pay one provider. Okay, so because the agency name already has a relationship with that facility, have you tried to talk to them about referrals?
No.
Why?
Facility?
Hmm?
You mean the social worker who called me?
From the facility, yeah.
I haven't reached out to them back after that.
How come?
It's kind of far away from me too. So, yeah, it's like in another, like it's really far, like almost about an hour, 20 minutes. So that was where the previous owner was. So I think it's the area he was servicing more. That's why I got the call.
Okay, but don't we go where our clients are?
I know.
You guys are y'all are too comfortable for me.
No. I just completed. I think I was so overwhelmed. Views, I would say, with getting admission. After I'm getting the admission done, the next thing I have to discharge. It's like a lot of stuff I'm trying to. So I'm just ending this like about 2 days ago. I just kind of completed the discharge and everything. So I'm just like it was a little overwhelming for me in the beginning because I didn't really know much on what to do. I just kept,
It didn't come with training when you bought the company.
What was that?
Normally, when you buy a company, it comes with training.
Yeah, he stayed. Things I think because of the long process we took to get a transfer, he told us he was going to be there. The guy who sold it to us, that was going to be there for 2 weeks. So he's the one actually who I was calling to get to know what to do. He was just kind of guiding me to do everything, but still, it was still like fresh new information. So I just finished a discharge. I didn't want to take another patient with that one at the same time, but that was the first. I wanted to just get to know the whole process before I start, going like head on into it. So now I don't have patience. So I'm like,
and they're gonna be there in 2 weeks.
What was that?
You said the survey's in 2 weeks?
No. It's in it's like sometime in October.
Oh, in October. Okay. But you said you don't want to go to that rehab because it's far for you.
No. I didn't say that. I said I can go there. I'm just saying I didn't call them back because I was kind of like trying to get that patient. I was getting admitted.
I got that part. You said it was new. You were overwhelmed.
Yes.
Basically, you wanted to make sure you were doing everything right. No, I got that part. So now, but now I'm repeating the question 3 times because I'm still asking. So now you're asking how to get clients. Why aren't you going back to that? Okay. I would.
Yes, I will.
Okay. They already saw that you did right by a client and you weren't money hungry, right? Mm-hmm. They already know the company name. Now you just got to build a new, that's just like, going out with your girlfriends and she said, hey, this is somebody from my job. You guys, y'all should talk. You gotta build relationships with people.
So apart from that, I know maybe I might need to have more one-on-one with you or something. How else can I, like expand my?
I mean, there's multiple things you can do in marketing, but for your state, you really want to see time is of the essence. That client referral is still really fresh, and it was positive, and a lot of people feel the survey process in your state, which is a priority for you, even though it's in October. You need to have that documentation that you have skilled clients. Mm-hmm. Right? So I'm just saying you need to get one on the books.
Yeah.
You need to get one on the books. Even if you gotta do a pro bono for a little bit. That's what a lot of Medicare clients agencies do. But that experience is so fresh that I would definitely go back there first. And then I don't know anything about the agency you bought, so other than saying home health, like how long was he in business? What is he?
Since 2000.
Okay, so he was in business since 2000. So why did he sell?
I think his wife was the one running it and she passed away. So he said he couldn't handle it anymore. The wife was running the administrative part while he was a nurse. So he said it's too much, so he just sold it.
Okay. So I'm sure that buying his business was a big investment, right? Are you a nurse?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as a nurse, you might need someone to help you with administrative so you don't become like him. I'm being honest. Because sometimes administrative stuff is your blind spot.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I need that right now, or when I scale up a little bit?
Well, I'm just thinking about when you said doing the paperwork, you might need, um, it doesn't sound like he is as helpful because you shared that his wife used to do most of the paperwork. So he really, only thing he could really do right now is kind of give you um the names. I would definitely circle back to him and say, hey, where did you get most of your referrals with? I want to follow up with them this month, right? I would contact him, hey, now that I got a call from XYZ facility, and um who else did you used to talk to there? Do you have a list of contacts? Like for me, I always kept a marketing binder. It would seem like I would keep it secret, but I had things in plain sight for like my staff to use if they ever wanted to say, "Oh, Sean's out of the office. Let me go help her with some marketing or something like that." So I would definitely get the names because it's one thing going someplace and saying, hey, I'm with XYZ company. They don't know that the company got sold. You don't technically have to tell them. And I maybe not. It may be to your advantage to not tell them if they got a good reputation.
Yeah.
All they need to know is you work there and you signed a check. So it don't matter to me that they know that I'm the owner.
Yeah.
I would definitely be wanting to know who are the main contacts.
Okay.
So that's something you can start this month.
Okay.
Okay. And then I feel like I'm hearing that um uh some paperwork just to make sure it gets processed. So a lot of my nurse mentees, they do really, really good at talking the language, right? Because you're a nurse, like, so you go in there and you meet a nurse case manager, you guys are going to be talking the language. Oh, okay, yeah, this is what we can do, blah, 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 blah. But then when it comes to filing the claim, doing the billing, submitting the paperwork, that's where you're going to need some more help with.
Yes.
All right. So that those don't get overwhelmed. I always share when my marketing started getting really good. It was already good at the start. When it started getting really good, I had so many intakes in 1 month. It was overwhelming. And if you're getting overwhelmed by one, I had like 6 to 8 intakes. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. It was exciting but overwhelming because you want to make sure, I had a skill agency. So I want to make sure I got all my doctor's orders. I didn't want to start without having them because then I didn't want to have to go back because my paperwork wasn't signed. So you might need somebody, huh?
That was my biggest, to get the face to face with the doctor was.
Yeah. Because sometimes, you got to figure out when the doctor has his or her administrative time so you can get those orders signed. So a lot of people want to do home health or skilled because they think it's more money, but it's also more responsibility. You can't be out here doing stuff if you don't have the doctor's orders. So I would start there. That's my advice to you. Follow back up with the previous owner, get some contacts so you can start doing some marketing, and then write down some things that are your your weaknesses. I don't want to say it to insult you, but they say you should hire out your weakness, right? Right. So, and that may not always be a virtual assistant, because I know my virtual assistant messed me up because I gotta send her stuff. I'm like, dang, you're not here. It's better off I have somebody come in my office because I gotta send it to you for you to send out. That'll help me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my advice to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, I'm going to get ready to get off. And Oh, you bought it expecting the survey. Okay. Okay. All right. Hey, Lois, how are you? You're welcome. Um, and for those of you who are saying, I'm licensed, but I'm struggling to get clients. Hey, Fumi, how are you? I keep telling you guys the easiest investment you can make is to join the Home Care Millionaire Society. I keep changing because the words just flow off my tongue. But it is the AKA Diamond Club, right? Started around Black Friday, and it's now become a monthly membership. With the monthly membership, this coming Thursday, so we getting back active. This coming Thursday, we're doing our first Zoom. We're going to do a monthly Zoom. If you're at the diamond level, I'm going to be doing website, brochure, and flyer audits, right? We have enough time. We're only going to be on for like an hour, maybe hour and a half max. Website, brochure, and flyer audits, right? Because we have already given everybody their January marketing campaign. So it's already been published. The Home Care Millionaire Society is $20.26. That is a base level. If you're joining the Diamond Club level, it's $97 a month. And it's not mentorship like how like my Kickstarter or Next Step or Home Care CEO program. So I'm gonna tell you guys, you're not getting one-on-ones in this, but this is definitely to give you direction. If you're struggling to get clients, you're gonna know what to do week 1, week 2, week 3. You're gonna have your marching orders every month. We also have a WhatsApp group where we're doing Q&A, but this is the monthly meetup. It's a monthly meetup. Link for that is on my website. And join before Thursday. We're meeting this Thursday evening. And you can still take advantage of the marketing strategies that we publish. We still have this week, I think next week, in the month of January. You can stack up so much content that people say somebody is charging them $2,000 just to do their online campaign. Whereas it's not just online, it's in-person marketing strategies too. No, if you want help with operations, you need to join the Next Step program. The Next Step program is marketing, operations, systems, billing, and that's our live Zoom sessions every Monday. So that one is that one is more interactive. So if you need help with marketing and operations, you should join the Next Step program. And we have people who are, the Next Step is for people who are already licensed. Last day to join the Next Step is the 30th. The 30th. In the Next Step, you automatically get in the Diamond Club level for free. Do I still have policies and procedures for all states? Not for all states, but about 30 states, because ours are not just a general template. Ours are state specific. So we have Kentucky, Illinois. We have 2 for Illinois. We have the home service and the home nursing. We have Arizona's been added. We have California. We have 2 for Maryland, skilled and unskilled, 2 for Virginia, skilled and unskilled. We have Ohio, skilled and unskilled. We have North Carolina. We have South Carolina. We have Florida, Homemaker, and the non-medical home health agency. That's it. North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Indiana, the personal service agency, and the home health. We have Georgia. We have Texas. We have a lot. That's off the top of my head. Yep, we have Virginia. And that was a question on YouTube. Those are my kits. Those are my do it DIY kit. It's called a DIY kit, but it was technically already done for you. We took the survey checklist from each state, went over it with a fine-tooth comb, and wrote each policy according to that state's regulation. And that's why I said it's not a general template, because there are general templates out there and you guys can buy them, but you have to put them together. You have to say, go down the table of contents and say, okay, does this match this? And then put it together. For what state? Because Sandra, basically you're asking a similar question. For Nevada, I don't have a kit for Nevada. Nevada has to be customized. Nevada has they have specific requirements. California's I think is 2,400. No, I wouldn't use it for adult residential facility. For Virginia, is it skilled or unskilled? For skilled, it's 2,999. For skilled is 3,999. Tennessee, yep, I have Tennessee too. Tennessee is 1,100, 1,999. See how there's different prices? I know our policies for Georgia is like 200 pages. For Virginia, it includes the policies, your personnel folder, everything the state's going to look for. Yep, it's everything. It's everything. And we got people that are on like my Google business profile page that said, I use this kit and I got approved. And so you don't have to take my word from it. You can take their word from it. And lastly, what I mentioned with Maryland. So one thing we do is that because you have a portal for your kit, right? If there are any updates, you get that update for free. You get an email sent out to you saying, hey, you purchased this kit 2 years ago. Now the state says you don't, previously you had to hold on to client charts for 5 years. Now they said you got to hold on to it for 7 years. You will get that update for free. Why? Because when we update the kit, we update the entire kit and you still have access to the link. We even have it so that, oh, I downloaded it on my work computer and I don't work there anymore. Yep, Pennsylvania. We got Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was our first DIY kit. I don't work there anymore. You will be able to get access to that kit if we are able to either, if A, you're able to show your order number, or B, we're able to look you up and find your name. Cool. You're using or you already used? And they're pretty detailed. And this is why we don't have them for all states yet, because going back and forth and making sure, number one, they're in the right order, and number two, they mention the state's um regulatory code. Yeah. Pennsylvania is our most viral kit, um, because it back when it was taking 6 and 9 months for people to get licensed in Pennsylvania, people were buying our kits and getting licensed in 8 to 9 weeks. Arizona is a non-regulated state, but they have a Medicaid program where you need policies and procedures. So you get that and the forms. North Carolina, you get all of the policies and procedures for North Carolina. Yes, Virginia as well. I'm going to open up the link of a lot of kits are on my website, www.savvybusinesschick.com, but I'm also going to open up the link on my link tree. If I feel inclined at the end of the month, I don't know, we might have a sale. I don't know, but I did a really big sale for Christmas and Black Friday, so I don't know. This is just not. I told someone else, you really need to act. January is the month to act. A lot of the people that submitted their application in January got licensed a lot faster than people that submitted it in other months of the year. Why? It's almost like it's a new year. People have good intentions about getting their paperwork, processed. I've just seen it happen. It's just been a historic trend over time. For Maryland, the skilled is $3,999, similar to Virginia and Illinois, and the unskilled is $2,999. I would like to mention that we offer Klarna Afterpay on our site, Klarna Afterpay, and I think Affirm. Okay, Klarna Afterpay, and I think Affirm. So, hey, Big V, Happy New Year. That's the magic question. How long does it take to have a license in Virginia? Okay, so online it can take up to 6 months. But this is why I said certain states move very fast, especially at the beginning of the year. So last year and even a year before, I had people that submitted their application. I'm going to just speak to Virginia right now. And at the end of the year, and got licensed by the end of February. Then I had people who submitted their application the first 2 weeks of January, and they got licensed before April, by April. So, moral of the story is the beginning of the year has a certain amount of possibilities that you will be licensed faster. I mean, it's just some, to the extent that some of my mentees weren't ready, and I had to encourage them to say, hey, push it through, because you have the policies and procedures. You just want to hurry up and get licensed. You just want to hurry up and get licensed. The faster another thing I like about states like Virginia and like, you can apply for Medicaid really, really fast too. Yes. So you're ready. I would submit it. I would submit it. If I was to start, if I was to restart a another home care agency, I would, there's certain states I would do right about this time. And I'll tell you guys on another broadcast. It's about, I should share my top 5 states that I would start. Hey, New York, yeah, New York, you can't open up a agency in New York. The license is a process. Arizona's really good. Arizona's really good. Okay. All right, guys. Application, easy peasy. Georgia, I wouldn't mess with Georgia. Georgia wouldn't be on my top 5. Let me put it like that. It's nothing wrong with Georgia. Georgia would not be on my top 5. I like South Carolina. I like Texas. I love Virginia. I'll just put that and I'll get off. Bye, guys. I, I I like South Carolina a lot.